The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
Sir Bartholomew Skeptic.
And we are now live, everybody.
Welcome, everyone, to Sunset City, a Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. Guys, we have our normal weirdos here. You got me, Nick. You got Cirrus.
Bartholomew Skeptic.
I don't want to. Let's
okay. Wayne.
Yeah, what is up?
There's Wayne. Pup.
Hey, man.
And Gilly.
What, Nick? What the fuck do you want?
I wanted to see how you're doing. I was really worried about you. But hey, we got a very special guest today. The writer of the recently wrapped up Scrapnik Island, Daniel Barnes.
Hello, Scott the Waz here. How's
Oh
it
my
going, guys?
Oh shit! There are two of them.
Oh, for God's sakes. Well, Danny, we only got you for like a limited time today. So I figured we would just hound you with a bunch of questions, and if there's any like super chats related to you specifically, maybe we can get them out of the way while you're here.
Hound away, my friend.
But yeah.
What detergent
First
do
off,
you use? I got a little stain on my sweater, and I just can't get it out.
I've got just a thing.
Okay.
So yeah, when did Scrapnik 4 come out? Was that like 2 days ago now?
Today is Friday. Yes, it came out on Wednesday. Wednesday is New Comic Book Day. Yes.
How does it feel having that all wrapped up in everybody's hands now?
It's a big weight off my shoulders. There was so much in that book that I wanted everyone to see, and it was done months ago, and I just had to like sit on it and wait for it all to come out. Thank God it's all out
Anticipation must
finally.
have been killing you.
It was a lot, definitely.
We should probably warn folks. We might kind of get spoilery. We might not. I'm going to try my best to kind of avoid that best I can, so people can actually read it. But we probably have some questions here.
I have a question that's going to end up being like there's a way for it not to be spoilery, but Danny, I have a question.
What's your question?
What motivated you to make one of the most wholesome horror stories and put it in a Sonic medium?
I don't know. Like, I think, oh man, I'm always trepidatious to use the word like wholesome because I feel like it's overused now. But like, I don't know. Sonic at his very core is kind of his default wholesome. His very nature and how he views life, and the messages and the kind of the pathos, the ethos behind the whole thing. It's very motivational. It really cuts to your core when you're doing it the right way. So that's just naturally a Sonic thing, right? Then I just kind of noticed that Sonic really doesn't have a lot of horror stories at all. Like, we had the Metal Virus saga, right? But that really wasn't a horror story, despite being a zombie story. It was much more like just emotional drama, a lot of psychological stuff going on. I wanted to make a Sonic story that actually kind of creeps you out a little bit. It makes your hair stand on end. Like, the closest we'd gotten was like the Night of the Werehog short, I guess, Scooby-Doo ass short. So
yeah. No, this one was a lot more like it was a lot more personal in the horror. With Metal Virus, it was you're right. There was a lot more just. There's a force of nature that is attacking. Let's try to survive it. This was more like everything around you is wrong, and you don't know why it's wrong for so long.
Yeah. I gotta admit, like the story definitely went in directions I was not anticipating when we first got those covers out the door, and what everyone was saying, like this was a Sonic horror story. This is like Sir said, this is a much more personal story. This is very much Mecha Sonic's story, which I wasn't expecting. Like, that wasn't even the first character we got introduced to with the covers. I thought this was going to be Mecha Knuckles' story, honestly.
Yeah, we deliberately marketed it a certain way so people did not know what it was going to be about. We thought that was really important. So yeah, a few people were understandably salty that Mecha Knuckles wasn't focused on more. I totally get it. Mecha Knuckles is awesome. But yeah, the whole time we were trying to hold off revealing Mecha Sonic being in the story at all for as long as possible. The way even the solicits are written for each issue they're pretty vague or don't really tell you what's going to happen, and that's all very intentional.
I will say that personally, I actually liked the way that Mecha Knuckles was utilized. He didn't, I suppose, get a huge amount of focus or characterization, but it felt appropriate. And Knuckles being that sort of Guardian-esque character, and without saying exactly what he was doing, kind of having Knuckles in a similar position. I don't know, that worked for me. And I liked that Sonic, we were able to do some stuff with, and I think go a little further into depth that I think that they've tapped with Metal Sonic, but you can't, because as mean as this is going to sound, Metal Sonic's more popular and he needs to be around more. So I think you guys, you really did take like a unique opportunity, and you did some really fun stuff with it.
Oh, thank you. Metal Sonic is much more evergreen, right? He has to kind of reset. You can't really make him go really. You can't veer him off in a crazy direction narratively, because he's gotta be Metal Sonic, right? But that was one of the things I really wanted to explore is robots, and the idea of a robot Sonic doppelganger that doesn't have to fall back on returning to the status quo quite as much. We can kind of explore a bit more and really explore the idea of what it means to be created by Eggman, to be programmed for a certain thing, all of that.
There is a... Oh, sorry, Nick, you go ahead.
Well, I was just kind of surprised and I mean, I've spoken with you about this, Danny, but like I was really shocked to see all of these elements, these returning elements. I've said it in a video before. I think there's a good and a bad way to be nostalgic with stories, and I feel like this was the perfect way to really expand the stories of a lot of elements that really don't have a lot of stories in the games. But also, I was shocked to see just how much Sega was willing to let you play with, because there are a lot of very big like elements from the games that are getting a continuing story. And I know that's a bigger deal with IDW Sonic, because Sega is doing, is trying so much more to kind of unify all the different elements of the Sonic canon. So where Archie could just get away with whatever the hell they wanted to, I know that there's a lot more focus from Sega when it comes to IDW. So are you able to talk at all about like what you were able to pitch with Sega and like your relationship with them and like getting stuff approved? Are you able to talk about any of that, or is that a bit too
I can talk about it a little bit. I don't want to say what are the other stories I pitched, because I might be able to use those later if I get to work for them again. So I don't want to show that hand too much.
Sure.
But what I can say is, working on Scrapnik Island, they were super enthusiastic about it the whole time, dude. Like, there were no roadblocks at all the whole time. They freaking loved the story. They were super excited about it. And it was very surprising, because I think a lot of fans, they kind of build... Because what happens when you don't see behind the curtain too much, when you just kind of go by a lot of hearsay, people start to build up this idea of what's actually going on, and they convince themselves of certain things that might not be around. Sega was super cool the whole time. The notes they gave me, whenever they did give me notes, made sense. They were a collaborator the whole way through. Sega's awesome. I think a lot of people talk about like mandates and stuff on Twitter a lot, the Sonic fans, and I feel like that's been blown way out of proportion. I don't really think there are any mandates, so to say. It's Sega is a license holder, and Sonic is a licensed comic, and they have a say over how their license is depicted, and that's for anything. That's not just Sonic. Like, a lot of people say, "Oh, Sega mandates Sonic can't cry," and it's like, well, no, Sonic doesn't cry because it's not in character. It's literally, it's out of character for him to cry out of sadness. That's literally like baked into him. So, like, of course, if you try to do certain things that aren't in character, they're going to go, "Can you change this? Can you?" So, yeah, I don't know. Like, from my personal experience, I can't speak for anyone else. It was a blast. It was a breeze. Loved it.
Were you given a Sonic, I guess, character Bible, as they call it?
A Bible? No, they didn't give me any kind of internal document that tells me about characters or anything like that. That was all just myself, hopefully knowing enough about the series, and I'm also part of a Discord server with the other IDW people, so we get to talk regularly about certain things and shit post and all that stuff together.
I like to think if there was like a Sonic character Bible, you just open it. It's thick. It's got like 1,000 pages, but only one of them has writing on it. Just says "Gotta go fast."
they give me the Bible, and it's like Sonic lives in Nebraska and eats trash.
Oh no, not the.
This is still canon, guys. Yep.
I
That
think
would
that's really
be-
cool though. Because yeah, I mean, I think big old Ian Flynn has said many times on the Bumblecast, like the mandate stuff is like you said, blown kind of way out of proportion. Like the way comics work is you write a thing, then you hand it off to Sega, and they'll give you notes here or there, and then you modify as necessary, and then you print the book. Like it's not as dire.
There's not a master list somewhere of things you can and cannot do with Sonic the Hedgehog. Like that doesn't.
Yeah.
There's no commandments. There's no testaments anywhere. And what's cool about this also is all my scripts, they got like translated to Japanese and sent to like
Oh,
Sega
that's
of
sick.
Japan.
Oh wow!
So that's insane. So I think people on Sonic Team like looked at my scripts and stuff, which was cool.
I think Sonic fans might be just a little tinfoil hatty and a little conspiratorial when it comes to their favorite mascots sometimes. And I say that as a Sonic fan who has done that before. Has been like,
absolutely.
the reviewers are doing this. They're doing it to keep the hawk down.
I think ultimately it comes from a place of curiosity, doesn't it? Really, like. But okay, I got a bit of a question. So there's a lot of readers that when they read through these comics, they'll like sort of hear the character's voice in their heads and stuff. When you write the dialogue for these characters, do you have like voice actors or casting in mind, particularly with like the new ones as well?
Yeah, I have certain preferences on what I hear in my head, and I like the ideal voices I like to picture. I don't like to dictate those or tell people what I'm thinking, because I think part of the fun of comics is for the reader to kind of generate their own voice in their mind. And if I tell you that this is what I'm doing, I think some people will feel the urge to maybe listen to me or use the voice I'm thinking of, and
Okay.
I kind of don't want you
That's
to do
fair.
that.
Nah, that's valid.
That's
I
entirely
get
fair.
that, yeah.
There's a plot point. It's not a huge one, so I don't think it's too terribly spoilery. Guys, do you think it's too terribly spoilery to talk about what Tails does with his tablet in this comic, or should we keep that one?
I
the
think we
read.
just have to kind of accept we're talking with Danny. Let's ask these questions while we can.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
think as long as you don't say what happens in the very last issue, I think. At this
Yeah,
point.
I'm not going to. But one of the things that one of the things that's kind of ubiquitous amongst a lot of badniks is their inability to speak unless Eggman's directly communicating to them or he's given them a special modification, like the E series gets that or Neo Metal gets that. But a lot of badniks, including Metal Sonic, just don't. Tails in this story has a really neat workaround to that. He does the translation thing from the Wisps, but he works it into Eggman's badniks instead. I don't know if you can tell us whether or not that's something we might be able to see more of, because as Eggman makes more creations and as we get, Metal Sonic himself recurring a lot, we don't get a lot of voice lines from him. We don't get a lot of internal dialogue from him. He always has to do things kind of through mimery. Do you think maybe that could be a bridge for us to see more of the internal monologue that happens with characters like that going forward, or maybe not?
It's hard to say what the future is going to hold. I know specifically, I don't know, like, I specifically, if you read issue 2 of Scrapnik, Tails explains what's going on with the translator module, and the idea is that he's able to use that on old badniks, because old badniks don't have these guards put in. So he's able to kind of hack into their communications and bridge that and allow them to talk through the tablet. And so I specifically wrote that in so that it's very clear that the Scrapniks are weird and special cases, and that he can't just start talking to random robots that are new from
And
Sonic.
I guess it would make sense it wouldn't work on Metal then because he's had so many modifications over the years. Like Eggman's been able to update his firmware and hardware enough that he probably has whatever fail-safes are in the new Robotniks.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe after the E series had all their voices, and Sigma told his Sigma balls joke, Eggman decided to maybe like scrap that feature.
All right, no more talking to for you.
Oh.
Robots. Thank you.
You did it, Wayne. Are you proud?
I am.
Oh my boy. Oh my.
Wasn't
dude.
enough.
managed
It wasn't enough to draw it. You had to say it to me.
You had to. You had
Make the
he
psychic
did-
damage complete.
He
Oh
took
my
Nick's
God.
advice of do this while you can, and he took it to heart. He took it personally.
So,
Oh my God.
Obviously, the illustrator for Scrapnik Island was Jack Lawrence, who did a wonderful job. Did
Yes.
you get any kind of say in kind of the visuals? Because it's a very atmospheric comic. Did you like have anything written down like it's a very murky atmosphere, or just anything written down about like how Scrapnik Island looks?
Oh yeah, I made a mood board for it actually before, like while I was pitching it,
That's awesome.
and Natalie Fordrain actually had a huge say in how it felt also because I know you guys have seen the colors for that book and they're insane, right?
Yeah.
They're insane. They're so good.
And she helped design the island. She redesigned Mecha Sonic and Knuckles and designed Sigma. So I remember I showed the pitch of this to her because we were in another chat talking before I actually started working on the comics, and she got super excited and kind of just ran off on her own and started just devising stuff without me even asking her because she got really jazzed up about it. And then I was like, okay, I need you to actually color it if this actually gets picked up, and everything kind of aligned. But a lot of it was it's the artist. I know, like when I was creating a mood board, do I still have my mood board that I made for this? If I can find it somewhere. I know I've mentioned this on Twitter. The fallen Death Star from Star Wars Episode 9 I had on the mood board. I wanted to, because I thought that was a really cool set piece in a not very good movie. But there was that.
That
I had like
that explains a good bit of that atmosphere.
Oh yeah, I had the. Have any of you guys seen Brave Little Toaster?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
The movie. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
had the junkyard from the end of
Yep.
Brave Little Toaster. as my mood board.
Did you have the song playing in your head as you were putting that up too?
Oh yes, I'm worthless.
Yep.
Yeah, I had
Trash.
That
I
makes
had
a lot
that.
of sense.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that movie in years. I remember loving it, but also being completely terrified of it when I was a kid.
Please rewatch it. It's amazing. It's one of my
yeah.
favorite animated movies. It's the best.
That's so
Nick,
good.
You've never seen it?
No, I've seen it. I just haven't seen it since I was
Super long time, right?
Yeah. Real long time ago.
Yeah, I have Toy Story 1 and 3
Yes.
on the mood board. So
Yes.
that's pretty apparent.
Yes.
That's what I figured too.
Hell
Makes
yeah.
sense.
No, I totally saw the incinerator scene and was like, oh hell yeah. And this is great because like the Toy Story movies are like my favorite movies ever. So I was having a whale of a time. I was
That's
tickled
awesome,
pink.
man.
One I was really surprised was not, as you've said on Twitter before, was the Misfit Island of Badniks or whatever the hell that's called from Archie. Just like you had no intention of like gaining or drawing inspiration from that whatsoever.
Yeah, you have to believe me. I did not know that story existed when I pitched this, and then as someone after the fact was like, "This is literally just like this one B story from Archie," and I think I went back and I looked at it, and I realized because I've read all of Ian's run on Archie because I
Sure.
love it, and
Sure.
I think I want to say I got to that B story and I was like, "Oh, Ian didn't write this," and I skipped it and I went on to the next issue. So I had just no conscious idea that I was drawing from something similar. Maybe in the very back of my mind, it
There was a subconscious
around.
whisper, but that's about it.
yeah, I was
mean,
not
yeah.
deliberately referencing it.
Yeah, no offense to the old school writing team of Archie, but I started doing the same because I dropped off the book for a long time because Sonic was all I read as a kid for a little while, and then I discovered other comic books, and then when things got a little bit as they did after the fall of Robotnik. I was like, that's enough of this, and I dropped off until Ian came on board, and I was like, what's going on here? Like, Tracy's art was really good, the writing was really good, but then I would see some old school Archie B story in there, and I'd be like, yeah, bye. So yeah, I completely believe it. I've come to appreciate that shit like a lot more these days, but yeah.
So Justice
Yeah.
for the Island of Misfit Badniks. I guess we all got to read it.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so much. Danny's is so much better for what it's worth.
it's
Thank you.
It's definitely something that can just happen. I remember a few weeks ago, just kind of as a group, something we were doing for fun. One episode was we were all drawing like Sonic characters based off of each other.
Oh, this was a
Yeah.
great time. I love doing this. Go on.
My idea for Nick was this turtle that was like going into like a scrap pile and finding old Badnik parts, and like he had like a crab meat arm, and I thought I was really clever. And
We just, I think it just goes to show that all Sonic fans just share one brain cell. You know, we just all come to the same conclusions.
And sometimes that
eventually.
brain cell has a tinfoil hat on.
And that brain cell is often very aroused as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh
Look.
man. Well, I gotta go, guys.
don't let Pup talk about Rouge. Don't let Pup talk about Rouge.
Look, man, I'm just saying, that whole white world aesthetic, not gonna lie, you were all thinking it.
Oh man.
Thanks for being on, Danny. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us.
So you did mention that you have some like other some other pitches that you can't discuss, but that is to say like we hopefully should be hearing or seeing some of your other works here in the near future. Do you know if you'll be working on the main continuity at some point in the near future, or do you think you'll mostly be sticking to side stories?
Everything is tenuous right now. It's it's more like just kind of a fingers crossed situation. I don't know anything for certain right now, but I mean, if I had my pick, I would like to just keep doing a mini series. I loved the open and shut case of them. Of just there's a beginning, middle, and end, and that's it. Like, it's a lot easier to deal with that. I have a day job on the side also. I work at ArenaNet on Guild Wars 2, and that takes up a lot of my time. So
That's awesome.
doing the ongoing comic might be a little tough if I were to try to tackle that, but who knows? Anything is possible. I would love to, whatever, as long as they let me keep writing stuff, I will write Sonic in some capacity. It's all up to them. So
That's fair.
The grind.
Well, for whatever it's worth, I certainly hope you stick around with that particular franchise because you knocked it out of the park, man. That was a really fun story.
oh, thank you.
No problem. I wanted to bother you about Mecha Sonic a little bit.
Yeah.
That's my boy. I lost my mind. There are a few things in this world anymore that make me actually yell out loud when I see something online being announced. That did it for me. I saw that boy with his beautiful raggedy cloak. I lost my damn mind. And I want to thank you and Natalie specifically, not only for bringing him back, but also giving us a definitive look at him. Because all we have is the sprite work from Sonic and Knuckles. And now, thanks to this comic, we have a proper look at his design and even kind of a cool upgrade. I really like that new look. And now that he's here, I'm just gushing. I don't know if I had anything to say about it. I just want to say thank you for
of course.
for bringing it back.
Man,
He said
my
the
fingers
thing.
he said the thing.
You did say the thing.
My fingers
Oh.
are so crossed. I don't know what the plan is on like mobile Sonic Sega games, but I would love if Mecha Sonic was just in speed battle at some point in the future. That would be really cool. Like that's my pie in the sky dream is for them to just put him in a mobile game somewhere. Then I'd be like, yes, he's real.
I have a question of personal preference. So I know you mentioned that the question was already thrown. You know, do you want to work on main continuity and all that other stuff? But there's one thing that I wonder. There's a lot of really fun characters on Scrapnik Island, specifically, you know, Mecha Sonic and Sigma. Not giving away anything that the two do, but would you would you maybe want to see those characters work their way into main stories at any point? And on top of that, would it even be safe for them to? Because I know that we have we obviously have Gemerl, who's an Eggman creation, who runs around with Cream and everybody else, and that doesn't seem to pose any real problems for Sonic's cast. I wonder if the same could be said for the Scrapnik Badniks.
Yeah, I think anything is possible in the future. I think Sonic can be very open-ended about the stuff it kind of uses after it's established it.
Yeah.
So anything's possible. I would hope they don't get overused too much. I think being able to jump scare people with them showing up is probably a lot more fun. Like it's like, oh, it's been like a year. Remember that one script? Oh shit, there they are right there, like all out of nowhere.
You just see Sigma just pop up out of nowhere. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
I would kill if we ever had a super grand scale threat like the Metal Virus again. If chips were really down and we got to see Scrapnik Mechasonic go up against Neo Metal or something like that.
Yeah,
shit would be wild.
It'd be like that moment. Am I the only one here who actually watched through all Steven Universe?
I watched all of it.
Okay, because I was gonna say that idea makes me think of when the all the gems at the core of the Earth just came out at the last second. We're gonna help too.
There's one moment in issue 4, without directly talking about it, that is inspired in part slightly by Blue Diamond's power from Steven Universe.
Oh,
kind of a little bit what's going on.
I see
there.
it. I see it. I actually screenshotted those panels as soon as I read them and sent them to a friend of mine, and I was like, "Oh my god, my boy!"
Oh man.
So
sorry, go ahead, Bob.
Oh, I was going to say, obviously you can't, give away anything about things you want to pitch or anything like that, but this is just kind of a general question, I guess. Are there any sort of, niche Sonic characters or lore elements or anything like that that you would like to see come back that you definitely haven't planned or pitched for?
Oh, man. Geez, that I definitely have not, huh?
I mean, that's just a fixed part on there, so no one thinks that these things are going to happen.
I mean, that's one of those questions that answers another questions, because if he answers some that he's not working on, that kind of says what he might be working on.
What I can say is, because it's broad enough to not be oh yeah, I definitely have pitched for this directly, is it is my opinion as just Daniel the Sonic fan that I would like to see humans come back to Sonic. I want humans walking around Sonic's world again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Can you draw them?
I'm happy to be in the same camp.
I would love to see them drawn like the fucking Dreamcast models from Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah, exactly like that.
I've always been of the mind, I think humans ideally, visually, would look in my mind, I like how they look in Sonic X quite a bit. Maybe something a bit more cartoony. I always think of Tezuka, the creator of Astro Boy, how he draws his humans.
Yeah.
Because you want to have anime looking humans, right? But you also want to have humans
that very plushy feel.
Yeah, but you want them to be you want them to make anatomical sense to Dr. Eggman, who is also a human. So you want different sizes and shapes for people also. Sonic Unleashed comes kind of close to that also.
I thought Sonic Unleashed definitely did the best job with that so far.
Unleashed has a very Pixar look to it with its humans.
It still has a very Western-y design to it, so I'm still kind of in the middle of all that. Well, what I'm hearing from you, Danny, is that you're planning a miniseries all about Burger Guy. That's what I'm understanding.
Burger Guy's return at last.
Burger Man returns to battle.
When the world needed him most, he returned.
If he ever shows up again, he needs to just look polygonal. If there's a Sonic Adventure remake, if he's not in it, there's no point of the game. There's none.
It's just his model in the comic. It's not even a drawing. It's just transposed.
He's always got his arms out.
That would be the idea.
Always ready for the
I was actually wondering, were there any IDW original characters that you would love to work on or work with rather?
So far, I mean, I really like Surge a lot. I think she's awesome.
Yeah.
Like to really explore her a lot and see what makes her tick. But I'm still kind of, I mean, I'm in the same boat with you guys and seeing how her character unfolds more, because I'm not privy to like every single thing that's going on in the comics either. So yeah, she's really cool.
They're exploring some Evans. I mean, like, you can tell she's putting her heart into that. They're exploring some really, really powerful stuff you don't usually see. And that's what I appreciate about you guys. Like, there's not only this consistency there, which is incredible, because like the way you guys write, you'd almost think like there is a guideline you guys are strictly following, but it's just people that have grown up loving these characters, understand these characters, and you're all just kind of on the same page because you're constantly communicating with each other and with Sega, and you guys have a consistent voice while still being unique within your own stories. It's really great. I've really been loving the hell out of IDW ever since it started, and it just keeps improving with guys like you coming on board. It's rad.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we're all just sharing that same brain cell, you know.
Well, hey, I know you don't have too much time left. Do we want to get some of these super chat questions directed at Danny
Sure.
out of the way?
Let's see which ones are aimed towards Danny.
There's one from Aiden F.
Okay,
here.
I'll put a burger next to it.
Yeah, I can go ahead and voice this one real quick. Aiden F with $10 says, 1, thank you, Daniel, for such an amazing story. 2, if you were to write for the main series, what direction would you take it in?
Well, you're welcome for the Scrapnik Island. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. And for the main series, what direction would I take it in? Without getting into any plot stuff, I guess. I have voiced this on Twitter quite recently, and this is just a general Sonic opinion from me, is I think Sonic flourishes when he has more open and shut cases. When you have something that has a beginning, middle, and end. I would like something that feels a lot more like, I don't know if anyone here has read like the Scrooge McDuck comics or like the Mickey Mouse comic books, or just any kind of more adventure comics, where I think the ongoing book right now is a lot more serialized. It's a lot more like you have to keep reading each issue one after the other to get what's going on. And I would honestly like my approach on Scrapnik Island would probably be closer to what the main book would be, where you just get like 4 issues and it's a beginning, middle, and end, and that's the end of that adventure. And then like all of a sudden you start up another adventure, and it's really easy to kind of hop on, because Sonic is just kind of like, I've been comparing him to Lupin the Third, where you can just watch a Lupin the Third movie and you don't have to watch them in order. You can just kind of like pick up a movie, watch it, and go like, oh, I want to read or watch another one. So that's what I would do personally. But like narratively, it's just like, I think the comics are great. They're doing what they need to do.
They are. The only pushback, and this is the only critique I really have for Scrapnik, I thought it was too short. I really wanted to spend more time with these characters and with this setting. A critique I've had for this version of Sonic's world so far has been just a lack of landmarks and really identifiable places. And I think that's starting to turn around, not only with Scrapnik, but also with the Imperial City, and obviously Tangle's hometown, stuff like that. So it's slowly building up more and more locations. And that's what I really loved about Scrapnik. I love the island, and I really wanted to spend time there. It again made me say, as I've been saying throughout IW, man, I really want this in a video game. So I hope we get more Scrapnik stories, man, because that's such a cool concept.
Fingers crossed, man.
Yeah.
With the land thing also, you know what must be done. You gotta bring back Green Hill Zone again.
No,
I don't know, dude. We haven't seen that place in such a long time. I don't think fans are gonna recognize it. I think
Green Hill again.
You're right. I'd actually forgotten what a Green Hill is. What is a Green Hill?
But I mean, like legit, like something Smash Brothers Brawl did, which was really cool. They did Mushroom Kingdom 1-1, but they did it as this dry, desolated desert, which doesn't make a lot of sense, because it's like it's supposed to represent it being abandoned, but it's like,
so make
wasn't this
Green
just like
Hill
how it looked
desert
naturally?
then, right?
More like Sandhill. I'm just saying, like, if you return to old places, do something interesting with it. That I kind of like that idea.
Turn it into a desert. So, Jorno sends 2 and says, I got emotional over the funny broken robot comic. So there you go. You made someone cry, Danny.
excellent. All according to plan. Your tears sustain me, Jorno.
Mr. Noodler with $4.99. Thank you. Just casually getting a Sonic Rider on the cast. You guys are big boys now. Thanks, Noodler.
Yes, validate us more.
You're playing with the big boys now.
Danny, like I know you've been working in professional spaces for a while, but like I've come to know you just from you goofing around on Twitter mostly, and then just seeing you announce like you're writing for Sonic. Like, man, I was so fucking happy. I was so damn happy because like just seeing some of your stuff, it was just like it's one of ours. He's doing it. He's doing it. And like
the guy who shitposts all the time is writing something. Whoa!
but I knew you got the chops, and I knew you got the passion, and I knew you were gonna hit it out the park, man. So I'm just like so damn proud of you, dude. Like it's so good.
Thank you, man. That's been
Yeah,
like
man.
a really funny. It's been a really funny. I've gotten a few replies, like people have just been like, "Oh crap, you're right, Scrapnik. I thought you were just like this random guy who talks about Sonic all the time."
You're giving us all hope that maybe one
I
day you
am.
can make it.
You don't really flex. You don't like. You've done a lot of stuff, and you don't flex it a whole lot on Twitter. You just gotta go over there and goof off with people. So
Yeah, that's what I use Twitter for. Is just
I respect that. I
bullshit.
respect that.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not, defending the MCU Spider-Man on Twitter, what are you even doing?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I'm the opposite. I hate MC Spider-Man.
No, I
I'm
know.
attacking him.
I know. That's why I
see
brought it
that
up.
pup?
Sort it
See
out.
that pup?
Oh,
Sort it
God.
out.
You need to change his name to my old name.
I hate Spider-Man.
I do not hate Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. Leave me be.
He was just saying that. No, you're saying. Never mind.
God.
Joke's over.
I'm so
It's fine.
stupid.
Gilly, do you want to grab? Jordo's question?
Bring me on for a whole episode of me just complaining about the MCU.
That's
That Jordo with $2. Question for Daniel. I love you.
Thank you.
oh man. Oh gosh.
Oh, that stings when you get a thank you in response to "I love you."
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Long-time viewer, first-time caller. I love you.
Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh.
It's like,
Thanks.
Sorry, what happened?
sorry for what happened.
All right, sir. So you want to grab his follow-up?
Yeah, sure. What was that voice break? That Jordo, thank you for the $5. LMAO, nah, seriously though, I'm so happy this exists. Thank you and your team so much for making Peak happen.
Thanks. I'm glad you liked it. It's very what is it? I keep telling people. I keep quoting Sonic CD. Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself.
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 Hey,
Extraordinary things can happen if you believe in yourself.
Is that in Origins? Did they bring that back for Origins?
yeah, they did.
Yes, they brought the vocals back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I prefer the
God,
instrumental
Origins is so perfect, isn't it, guys? God, I think that's the best.
Oh god.
Way past
Alright.
Cool Kid sends $9.99. Hi boys, I'm so happy you got such way past cool guests. Hi Daniel, I love your work on Scrapnik. You killed it. Also, Gilly, your last video actually gave me a chuckle. Also, still love your neck.
You say that like it doesn't normally.
Good job, Gilly. You did it.
You made the funny. Good
Actually
job.
made me chortle.
I'm gonna be honest. If it were to anybody else, I would be concerned with the with the phrase "and I love your neck." But
Yeah.
but it's
Prettiest
you.
neck on YouTube.
Okay.
She could be a vampire.
Did we ask Daniel his opinion on B theory?
This is a
Write
good
it-
theory. You all leave me
write it
alone, you
into-
bullies.
He can make a canon.
What?
A long time
Go
ago,
on,
story.
pup. Go on, pup.
many years ago,
Cool.
at the fruition of this journey, we were doing an episode about how there was rumors that Ian Flynn was going to reveal the origin of the Chaos Emeralds. And as intrigued as I was by that, I was more intrigued by the origins of the rings. They're mysterious, you don't know where they come from, and they always seem to guide Sonic on the right path. They help him. So I had this theory that Sonic,
A game theory.
helps the ecosystem, protects it from Dr. Robotnik. What if the ecosystem helped him in return by guiding him along the way? So these rings were laid down by magic bees who produce these rings out of their little bee butts.
The
And
bees is where you lose me.
they do it to guide the way. And they could
Wait, then
maybe-
why would there be rings in the first Sonic game when that was the first time he helped the ecosystem?
Because the bees know about it already, and they're like, "Hey, buddy, like you look kind of competent. Here's some rings."
Well, the first Sonic game is not the first time Sonic helped. It's the first time we've seen it. Sonic and Dr. Eggman know each other before Sonic 1.
Yeah, stupid
yeah,
ass.
Wayne, just because you can't see it
Wow.
doesn't mean it doesn't exist, you atheist.
So anyway, thanks for joining us, Danny. Get the fuck out.
I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
I'm sorry, Wayne. I'm so sorry. Maybe you
God
should go back to
damn.
Sonic's home in Nebraska.
So if I bribe you, can we make B Theory canon? What are we thinking? What are we saying?
Damn it.
It's a fun way of looking at it, you know.
Oh hell
That is the
yeah!
most-
I got the
minute-
diplomatic
That's
answer.
a
This is
fun way of
great.
All right.
looking at it.
But-
It sounds
but-
a lot like "Bless Your Heart."
My tea has just enough diabetes in it for me to understand that.
I like B.
Well, I mean, good old Ian. Good old Ian. I mean, it's not his fault that this is in the game. Let's be real. But Sonic Frontiers does have bees. So, pup, you're
So yeah, it's canon. Done. Done.
There you
Case
go.
closed. I was
Also-
always saying
They
it's
would
not
be
canon.
Sonics has B.
They would be
Also-
hexagons, though.
There's a problem, pup. There's a
Stop.
problem.
Just stop it. Go on.
No. Here's the thing. Danny could literally say, "Yes, absolutely, we could do this 100%," and then we'd all still have to wrestle with the fact that we haven't seen a ring yet in IDW.
Oh,
That's
God
true.
Damn it, Bobby.
That's weird. That's super weird. I mentioned that a long time ago, but yeah, even to this day, it's like a year ago I mentioned that randomly, right? And then like, they're still not there. What's going on?
Interesting.
You know
Because
what? You
now,
might notice this. You go back and watch the first Mario Brothers movie. No coins.
Ridiculous.
Does propane exist in the Sonic universe?
Do you think there's going to be a scene, Danny? Are you going to canonize a scene with Charmy just hanging out in the back room and Sonic opens up while he's making rings and then Charmy just screams at him, "Don't look at me!
It's not Charmy that does it. We've been over this. They're little bumblebees. They're charming. and they're
Don't look
nice.
at me!"
And then, of course, all of the rings have to be in a bowl of milk.
They all
It's
make
just Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's a Honey Nut Cheerios endorsement. It always was.
Get that honey nut.
every time they excrete one, it makes like the ring loss sound, you know.
Welcome to the white world.
Oh
Anyway.
my god! All right.
No.
So let's wrap these up because we've already hit the time Danny was allotted here, so I don't want to keep him too much longer.
I have
Wayne.
like 10 minutes ish.
Okay.
I've got certified nobody with $1.99. Are Mecha and Sigma husbands?
No, Mecha rebuilt. Sigma rebuilt Mecha. Like if anything, he's almost like a stepdad.
What are you doing, stepdad?
No.
Oh, no.
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 White world.
We're never going to
God damn. Okay.
I'm really glad that we got like the one Sonic writer on here before we were never able to get any others.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. I won't be a Sonic writer any longer after this.
Oh no.
Thanks, guys.
Sorry about your job, Danny. Sorry.
I'm not gonna say the joke that came to mind. It's a
We're
good idea not to.
sorry.
No.
Just
All right. Let's
ordinary
get
men.
to the next one.
Innocent men.
It's just innocent men.
Just innocent men.
Just normal men.
We have a
Oh.
burger.
All right. Before that, hang on. I think this is a question that's also prevalent to Danny as well.
Sure.
Way past cool kid with a $1.99. Also, what is everyone's favorite SMBZ moment / episode?
What's SMBZ again?
Super Mario Bros. Z.
I
I
haven't
still need to
seen it.
watch
I
it.
have to confess, I haven't seen it.
Fire Mario versus the Dark Koopa on the carrier.
I I will say, after this past week, I'm not going to say why, I was introduced to one particular clip from the series, and it looks badass as hell, so I'll say that one.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I said Super Mario Brothers Z as you guys said it because I was trying to be an asshole, and it turns out that's what it stood for.
Appreciate your honesty.
All anime is bad.
I think my favorite episode is when they go to the Minus world, when they go to the 8-bit world for a whole episode. That was really fun. I like that a lot.
So is this like a
I don't
family
remember
thing?
a lot of it. So no, so we're talking early internet here, right? Like
Okay.
2006 era, Newgrounds sort of a thing. Is it Alvin Earthworm? Is that what it used to go by?
There's Alvin
Yes.
Earthworm, yeah.
Alvin
Okay.
Earthworm. Real name Mark Haynes.
So I remember his post back in the day. He said jabroni a lot. I wonder if he's grown out of that or not. But he did
it's
a lot
sprite
of these
animation.
flash animations with sprite work, specifically with Mario and Sonic sprites. So it was like Mario, Luigi, Shadow, Sonic, and eventually Yoshi as well. Just acting like Dragon Ball Z characters and going up against what was at the time Mecha Sonic. I don't know what his rebranded name is now that he has that Mecha Man or Mega Man body.
He's called Metallics now, like the
Like
the
Fleetway.
British comics. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like even to this day, like it's still like 2D flat sprite work, but the animation is nuts. It's so damn hype.
I think I've probably
if
seen
you-
clips of it then because I've seen like some massive action sequence with these Mario sprites and it goes hard.
Yeah, and I think he keeps remaking it. Maybe just the one remake. We recently saw somebody do like a CG fan remake, which was insane too.
Yeah.
Highly recommended if you guys haven't seen it. It's incredible. That said, I don't remember each episode as they come. It's been years, but I still love where the "I'll crush you" line comes from. I love when Metallics goes super and just wrecks all of those Mega Man robots. It's just an amazing fight.
Oh, the Axum Rangers. Those are from
Yeah.
Super Mario RPG. Yeah. Like it's funny. Like they took the Super Mario RPG characters and they took their heads and they stuck them onto Mega Man Battle Network bodies.
Yeah. It was really, really good.
We do
It's a
have
lot of fun.
We do have one more question in here that is addressed to Danny.
Yep.
This one's from Mr. Krabs. We have two. Oh, because I just see the
Yeah.
new one just popped
This
up.
one's a quick one. You've already answered it on Twitter, but yeah.
Yeah. So Mr. Krabs asks, I have a question, Danny. Where does Scrapnik Island take place in the IDW timeline? Is it before the Search arc or before the Chow Races arc?
Scrapnik Island is set between issue number 56, which just came out, and issue number 57, which is going to come out soon. It's between those two issues. There's a bit of a small little gap in time where that can be safely tucked in.
All right, Black Yakuza 94 with $5. Hey Daniel, what other franchises would you want to write a miniseries for?
Oh man, absolutely Mario. Speaking of Super Mario Brothers, I actually, if anyone has seen it, I wrote a webcomic for Super Mario going on 10 years ago now. Holy crap! Called New Super Mario Adventures, and that was really fun. The website for it doesn't exist anymore, but it's on my DeviantArt still, I think. And I posted the whole comic on Twitter last year in a big thread. If you just like look up at Danny 8-Bit and Super Mario Adventures, you should be able to find it. And we were able to get. I commissioned Matt Herms to color the covers for that. It was a lot of fun. I'm
Yeah,
really
they're
proud of that comic.
gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous.
So yeah, I love to write for Mario. Oh my god, my dream is, well, one of my dreams is to just, I don't know how it would happen, who I would need to talk to. I would love to just like write Bionicle. I like to reboot Bionicle.
I would love to see.
Oh man.
I would not only love to see that happen, but if you could bring the whole aesthetic that was in Scrapnik to Matanui. Oh.
The Island of I mean, what is Scrapnik Island but Matanui, and Mecha Sonic is a Toa, and Sigma is a Turaga Elder, and
Dude, the Rockshi were like the scariest thing in the world to me when I was a kid.
it's so cool.
Dude, same. It was like that.
Rakshi.
It was like that. It was like that awkward fear I had over the robots that could roll up into balls. for that were in
Borak.
Star Wars Episode 1.
Oh, okay.
Those
Oh,
are
yeah.
cool design.
I had a weird fear of them when I was a kid, and the Rakshi kind of they kind of preyed on that a little bit. Cause I got
Wait,
the comics as they
are
came
you
out.
thinking of the Borak or the Rakshi?
Oh no, I'm not
Borak-
thinking of the Borak.
Borak were the ones that rolled into spheres. The Rakshi were the ones in the movie that had like the slugs in them.
Oh yeah, okay.
If
Why
you
do I
wanna ever-
still remember this shit? Jesus.
If you ever want to if you ever were to open up my brain and you were like, "What? I wonder what makes Daniel Barnes tick." You open up my brain, and you'd see one of the things in there would be the mid 2000s Bionicle commercial with All American Rejects in it. Just move along, like I know you would. That's like the coolest thing ever. That's just like. That just like completely why it's a really formative experience for me. Just that
But-
commercial. I'm not
Was
sure
that for
why.
was that for the Bionicles Heroes game?
It was for it was for the new set at the time. I can't remember which
okay,
one it was. Someone in chat probably knows. I don't know. It was for the current set, and yeah, they were just they were going crazy on using like 2000s music on the commercials for the set.
That's awesome. All right, Danny, thank you so much for joining us, man. I don't want to eat up too much more of your time. I think we're at the 10-minute mark. Am I right there? But yeah, man, if you have to leave, this is your freedom. There you go.
Yeah,
This
I'd like
is
to
your
talk to
out.
you guys more, but I better do the responsible thing and leave. I gotta go do some.
Well,
work.
then
it was
come
great having
come
you
hang
on.
out again, man. We'd love to have you on again.
Yeah.
Please, I would love to come back.
We
This
can't
was
we
great,
can't wait
guys.
to put your job at risk once more.
That's what makes it exciting. That's the thrill.
Oh man, Danny, thank you again. Thank you so much for just everything, for bringing back one of my favorite characters, for putting out an amazing Sonic story, and for just being a great dude and hanging out with us today, man.
Hey, thank you guys for what you do. Also, the show is great. I'm glad I got to come on finally. And yes, please bring me back. I love this place. I love you guys.
Hell
you guys
yeah,
keep
man.
it up, man.
Oh,
Will
hell
do.
yeah, I'm blushing.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
man.
It was great having you here.
Later,
Bye.
Take it easy.
man. Bye, dude.
Man, I can't believe Danny said all those things about Cucky.
Oh my god. Well, guys, we still have a show left to do here, so
Nah, I don't wanna. Good night.
good night, everybody.
Go to sleep.
All right, we're gonna read super chats and be done, guys. Bye.
No.
Oh yeah,
We
by the way,
actually we're
yeah, I did say super chat cutoff for questions for Daniel, but now super chats are absolutely still open for the rest of us if you want to send us money, which I think you should as like a moral obligation. So yeah, do it. We're just poor men.
just
We're just
normal men.
hungry men.
We're
just hungry men. Oh man.
All right, first person to send me $50 wins. Go.
Oh man. All right, so we'll
Wait,
we'll
we
read the
have
rest
no
of the super
plan,
chats
do
in a little
we?
bit.
We have
No,
plan.
it's fine. We do have a couple of other things we can still talk about. We did finally get some teases for Sonic Prime.
That we did.
Huge quotations here, season 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
but part two.
I thought
isn't
it was just part 2 of season 1.
That's that's why I said quotations. Everyone's
Yeah.
calling it season 2, but yeah, it's
Oh, because they're wrong.
Yeah, why are you
Right.
validating that, Nick?
Wait,
You're
people
supposed
on
to
the
be-
internet can be wrong?
Nick, you're like an
No.
influencer. You're supposed to be better than the underlings. Come on, man.
oh for God's sakes.
The
What?
underlings.
What have we seen? We saw Sonic being pinned down by Shadow while
Oh,
he's
hell
holding up
yeah.
a bit of his
Very wet scene indeed.
Oh.
Help me, Step Shadow. I'm stuck.
Moisture.
So it looked like Shadow was taking the little doohickeys.
He was about
that
to
Nines
marry
made.
him because he's got a ring in a box. And he was gonna marry him. Under the water, choking, pinning, wonderful. There's a ring.
It's weirdly like that picture is weirdly like, yeah, it's
Shape
slightly
of water,
intimate, isn't it?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great when, like, the next set of episodes, Sonic is just, like, trapped down there underwater and Shadow's the one hopping around universes.
At the end of the day, water is always sexy. I think I'm gonna get a drink right now. Oh hell yeah.
So is Sonic Prime Way of the Water.
Oh my god. Which is going to lead. That scene also leads to the next movie, the Seed Bearer.
Oh no.
We we have more pickies as well. We've got one where Sonic is flying in the air in the Green Hill department. And Green Hill is looking a lot more like Grey Hill right now. That could just be the atmosphere. But Sonic's got his regular shoes on, so it could be that he's come back to his world, and it's a white world, just like in Sonic Generations. I wonder.
It looks like it's frozen in time. Yeah.
I wonder what I did.
Oh my god.
It would be interesting if the ideas that, like, because Shadow was implying that world was just gone. And maybe there's some part of it that's just kind of like stuck in limbo, and he's trying, and we have like an active, like, visual representation of the place that he's trying to bring back. I don't know, I think it'd be cool.
I'm looking forward to that if that's the case. Like, I like the idea of Sonic returning to a world of his that is fractured and ruined and gone, and
yeah, and it's his fucking fault.
And it's his fucking fault.
Yeah.
I like when Sonic's the villain of his own story.
I don't know if we really talked about it when we kind of chatted about the show in general. This is all going to reset back to normal eventually. But we now have these new lives lived by these splintered versions of these characters. Got pirate versions and jungle versions and post-apocalyptic. We're not even apocalyptic, whatever. The not Satian versions of the characters.
Dystopian.
Does that mean they all die whenever he reforms all of them?
Yes.
All those crystals?
100%. They die miserable, horrible deaths as soon as the Paradox Prism is reassembled.
It'd be interesting if, like, their dynamics change a little bit because they've gone through, like, new experiences, because of I'm not sure. It's a weird, if only because there's sort of like a time thing to answer for there too, because there's a whole history behind each of these dimensions. And I was a little confused, to be perfectly honest, if the idea was supposed to be that these dimensions always existed and, like, their personalities got split among them, or if, like, these dimensions were just created and their entire histories going, you know, way back when were also created at the same time. Like, I don't get
Did you
that.
Did you ever read the Worlds Collide issues in Archie? The Mega Man stuff?
No.
So there's I kind of felt like it operated the same way as what happens in there. So the long and short of it is Eggman and Dr. Wily understand that there's different dimensions now because they meet each other. Eggman goes, hey, we can do this thing where we rewrite the histories of everybody in both of our dimensions to where they've always been in the same dimension. We can put, like, Bass and Metal Sonic together and they'll have always known each other. And they just rewrite the entire history of the world, press a button, and then suddenly the world's just always been that way.
So it's like Dr. Nefarious' plan from Crack in Time.
It's lit. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a
So,
lot
like,
of Ratchet and Clank in this show anyway, so like it makes sense.
Yeah, so I feel like this would be when I saw the Shattered Prism breaking apart and everything, it just feels like all of these worlds were created at that moment, having had these histories.
Okay.
Not these are and maybe the show will prove me wrong. Maybe these are alternate versions that have always been there, but given that Sonic's kind of done this shtick before once, I feel like it's the same thing again. These histories are new, but they are new and also as if they always have been.
Like, what time travel?
So, one thing I'm going to put out there is, obviously, like, I jest when I say they're all going to die. I think the multiverse is going to have to remain anyway, just simply because they want to have future seasons of Sonic Prime. I mean, they haven't said it's just a one-off deal. The title Sonic Prime would refer to, it's the main Sonic, that's Sonic Prime, and he's going to a universe, well, other universes. So, theoretically, like, Season 2 would have to find a new excuse to open up the multiverse again, and then have Sonic visit the fucking Slime Girl dimension, or the Femboy dimension, or whatever. And
Oh my
then-
god.
Oh, so it would just be Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, and it would get...
just be fucking Kingdom Hearts.
And it would also get
gonna-
fiercely boring as well, but, like...
I was gonna say, as we've seen the show executed so far, I think the series is fine, but, like,
It's
I don't think the
tied, in my
premise
opinion.
the premise is okay, but the way that it's being executed, I do not think you could do it beyond much more than one season. We may get more than one season. I don't think that's a good idea, though.
I think they should, it's one of those things where maybe rather make a season 2, make a sequel series where it's, like, still the same cast, still this same world, but it's no longer focused on the multiverse. So it's no longer called Sonic Prime. It could be called, Sonic Flicks.
I mean, it would still be
Sonic Beta.
I mean, it would still be Sonic
Segment.
Prime if it was focusing on just the main universe, because now it's literally Sonic's Prime universe, and that is the focus.
But then the title becomes irrelevant to the actual show itself, if that's the case.
Not necessarily.
What's it Prime 2 if you're not going to address the other dimensions?
Yeah.
If the other dimensions are made to stay around so that the characters aren't basically killed off, then spending the majority of the time in the Prime dimension and every now and again having like Rebel come in or having Nine come in a random episode, that would be the way to go about that functionally.
I mean, if they can make it work, I'm not opposed, but what I would say is we're only in the first half of season 1, and I already feel like the multiverse shit is tired.
Oh, we're at first
Oh,
third,
yeah.
bud. This is the
Yeah.
first of 3 batches.
That's
We're in the
a
first
really
third,
bad
not even the
sign
first half.
that I already feel like the multiverse is tired.
Yeah. Honestly, there's even more reasons why I'm just like, just with the current climate for animated series in general on streaming services right now, it might just be best for them to plan on 1 season and no more.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if they have it written for beyond that, doesn't mean it's getting it.
They're not, yeah, the thing is, I don't think, like, Wild Brain or whoever, is it Man of Action, Wild Brain, I don't know. But the people that, work on, like, the pre-production for the show, I think they're naturally going to be like, we want future seasons. Like, it's a fucking toy ad at the end of the day. But, like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like, where do you go from here?
I'm hoping that we don't get too many extra dimensions, because I've liked the show so far, but I don't like Sonic gets into a dimension, has to reintroduce himself to everybody, say hi, explain the plot to them, and then fix whatever problem they have and then move on. Again, I've played Kingdom Hearts. I'm good.
Yeah. The most refreshing part of the Sonic Prime series as they stood was the fact that he went back to a dimension that he had previously already visited. And that gave me some hope that it wasn't going to be that kind of Kingdom Hearts formula where Sora, Donald, and Goofy have to introduce themselves to a new set of characters every, like, half hour.
Yeah, it gets tiring when it's like, oh, I'm Rails, I'm the Tails that drives the train. I'm Flails.
I'm my original
Tails.
character, Blails.
What else rhymes with Tails?
Sales.
Fails.
We've already had Sails.
Yeah, we have sales.
I'm
I know.
Fails. I'm the
Adorable.
Tails that never measures up to anybody.
I'm Whales. I'm Tails, but I'm a whale.
I'm a whaler.
I'm Quails. I eat a lot of quail.
I don't
I'm
have
s-
tails. I just attach a bunch of birds to my ass.
I'm Snails. I don't have tails. I have a shell attached to my butt.
Welcome to the Bible verse. I'm Holy Grails.
I mean, there is a reason why premises like this work for like a single episode of Futurama, and it's a really good episode of Futurama. But some shticks.
A good episode
Yeah.
of Futurama is not a good series of Sonic.
Yeah. I think it's fine so far, but again, I think we all see the warning signs of well, if we keep this train going, we're all just going to be bored.
I mean, I like
We're,
it. I'd give
we're,
it like
we're
a-
all we're already seeing the cracks in the prism, as it were.
Oh, no.
Fuck off, Wayne. I'd give it a solid 6.5 out of 10 so far, I guess.
That's being generous.
Damn, Wayne.
I'm around there.
Damn.
I'm around at 6 or 7.
Six is fair.
Still a
I
kid
definitely
show at
wouldn't
the end of the
give
day.
it a 7. I've seen better kid shows.
Yeah, we all have. It's fine.
Better thing exists, therefore this thing is bad.
I'm excited to see more Shadow. Looks like we're going to get a little bit more of a focus on him this time.
I hate Sonic Prime because I've seen Breaking Bad and I know what TV should be.
All I'm saying is, if we're gonna say it's a kids show as a point of comparison, then I'm going to use a comparison. So
I know, I'm mean on
Yeah.
you. Come here and give me a little cuddle. Come on. Get
Oh,
over here.
no, fuck you.
Get over. No,
No.
come on. It's time for snugs. Get over here. Anyway,
You guys
kill
had
you.
plenty of time to do that on my couch, not on the show.
Oh my god. Dear Lord.
he had a cat and
All
I had a
right.
chip.
It's true. And Nick had sadness.
Yeah, your cat just sat on my glasses, which I've not fixed yet.
I'm sorry about that still, man.
I'll figure that out. I needed to get new glasses anyway. It's all good.
Yeah, speaking of new glasses, ugh.
Oh yeah, didn't you just get some?
I ordered some. They were a good $100 more expensive than I thought they were going to be because my eyeballs are bad. They were going to be $200 more, but thankfully, unbeknownst to me, my medical insurance covers vision. So hey, but yeah, I need some like really powerful lenses because my right eye is like useless at this point.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
You should wear an eye patch.
Give it a cuddle.
You should wear one eye patch and one monocle.
You could pretend you're from the multiverse. You could be like, "Oh, I'm
Stain. Wayne.
I'm Wayne is Poop Deck from the pirate dimension. Wayne is captain."
Oh my god. All right. Well, guys, I mean, we don't have too much to talk about, and Danny's left us feeling empty. Should we tackle the rest of the super chats and call it for the day?
Nick, I want you to know I don't support Go Ricket, Crickost as a ship. I don't support it.
What?
His dog.
As in his dogs?
The dogs.
Yeah, he ships
My
them.
my little cricket is in heat, and Ghost is reacting to it. So
Oh, dear.
we're waiting for her to calm down so we can get her spayed.
The little cupcake. She does not have sexual feelings. Damn it. She's my baby.
She's got chaotic feelings. I don't know where she's at. I hope she's not destroying something of mine.
I want to pet them both again. I am
Well,
thousands
come on
of
by.
miles, hundreds of miles away. Not thousands, but hundreds of miles away. I cannot pet them. It sucks.
Yeah, it does, man. They're great.
It does.
All right.
Send me the dogs.
I'm not doing that.
Send
All right,
me-
guys. Let's see
Okay,
here. Pup, you wanna
I've-
you wanna get us
Up
back
with,
with David?
Yeah, let's have a look. Where we at? No, we gotta start from the start. So, where's the burger? Okay, we've got Nope. We got David Crespo with $1.99. You guys see the Bikuri Box 12 Frontiers review yet? I have. I've seen it. I enjoy it. I enjoy Bikuri Box 12's content. I'd love to get him.
I enjoy his content too, but I need to just get that stupid video done because I'm just avoiding a whole bunch of great content
I think
from not watching Frontiers
one of
videos.
my favorite things about that video is like Bikuri Box 12 is very thorough and he's very like he's very thorough and stuff. But like I like how he has these little almost kind of like ADHD moments where he just gets distracted by something else that's happening on screen. I love those moments. I relate to them. Okay, can someone else just say something for fuck's sake?
I mean, I've not seen it. I
I'll-
like his
I'll
work. I
fucking
just haven't seen
kill
that
you.
video.
I'll kill you. Just
Yeah,
read for
I'm-
Sony already. Wait,
Sure,
have
I
we
never
had
did.
Sony? Did Sony get red?
I think Sony got red.
Mecha
Like Mecha getting his-
redemption arc goes hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it wasn't before, it is
Well,
now.
Either way, thank you, Sony. I'm removing all the burgers from the ones we've read. So
So we're at Way Past Cool Kid at the bottom now, I believe. Way Past Cool Kid for $1.99. Thank you. Now that the pro is gone, I can say this. Hashtag boobles.
No, you could have just said that while he was on.
boobs.
Boobles.
Call this lovable burger.
Linda.
Breeds.
Linda, this is a burger with breasts.
Linda.
Linda.
Linda, I'm
Breast
filing
burger.
for divorce.
This is
I'm
a-
going to
this
marry
is a
the
burger
breast
for- This is a burger for DeviantArt, Linda.
Linda. Oh, Linda.
I didn't make a burger. I made a chicken booble sandwich for you, Linda.
Had carnal
Merge.
relations with
Look,
burger.
you don't
Marriage.
understand. We make our chicken sandwiches with chicken breast. This
With
is
chicken
made
boobles.
with different
boobles.
breasts.
Dad, I thought you sell propane and not make burgers.
What voice is that supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be
I think
Bobby.
it's either Bobby or
Dad.
Peggy.
I'm okay, Dad. That's my purse. Give me back my purse.
Oh no, you!
I don't know anybody here.
Oh my fucking
We'll
god.
apologize for happen. We'll not do second time.
God
So to
dang
introduce
it,
my
Dad,
next video,
I hate Lady Bird. I
multi-apologize.
want to hang out with my raccoon friend. I don't like no Lady Bird.
Oh my
Killy, I
god.
think you've got the next one.
Okay.
Gillian for Killian.
Killian McMurphy with $5. Nick, I didn't see you at MagFest, So now I have a 6-foot tall nude oil painting of Pup and nowhere to hang it.
I don't know why, but you reminded me of Dale from King of the Hill when you were reading some of that. Nick, I didn't see you at MagFest.
I didn't see you at MagFest, so now I have a 6-foot tall nude oil painting of Pup and nowhere to hang it.
God dang it,
man,
Dale, shut
man,
the hell
Nick.
up.
Where were you
Nick,
planning on
you-
hanging it on Nick?
Nick, you missed a fan at MagFest? Oh man, that's so like I'm just gonna have to keep
Oh, Wayne,
continuously
go hang
bringing
out
this
with your
up and just
friends.
annoy the fuck
Go
out of
hang
you.
out with your
Yeah.
flatmates you
Yeah,
barely
guys.
see,
So,
Wayne. Shut up.
what convention are we gonna go to next time? Bro, you guys. Some of you guys are showing up to PAX, right?
I'm
yeah,
trying
I'm
to.
not-
I'm waiting to see if we get
not
that
gonna be
that.
able to go to PAX.
Nah, I'll
that
see-
media
I'll see you
badge.
eventually.
Nick, you're gonna go to PAX, and I'm gonna go. Hey, Nick, I'm gonna go hang out with other people.
Hey,
I'm glad you think you're my only friend.
hey, Wayne.
Nick,
Wayne,
I'm gonna go. Nick, I'm gonna go hang out with local. I'm gonna hang out with my friends from home. Bye, Nick.
Wallace, Wallace, I'm gonna come to Virginia for one day and hang out with my English friends somehow while I'm there.
Are you gonna hang out with me at some point during that time period as well?
I'm being
No
you, so
promises.
no, fuck off. Eat shit.
I like that we
Because
built up
that's
the
what I
narrative.
fucking did.
No,
I like
you
that we built
fucking,
up the narrative
you
that you
neglected
just
everyone,
puked on us
Wayne.
and left.
You could have done
Wayne-
so much
Wayne
more. You
passed
could have
up-
saved
Wayne-
Gilly.
Wayne passed up like an $80 dinner of the best food we've all ever eaten in our lives with a group of friends. To,
So yes,
to hang
that,
out with his roommates.
that deserves a little bit of bagging because you don't understand, man.
And that little bit has been exceeded. Y'all are fucking ridiculous.
No.
Jesus
When you go,
Christ.
I'm just waiting to
Bagging
take him
is
to Buca de
infinite.
Beppo and watch him cry.
The funniest part about that is you can't be saying that because then people are going to be like, oh, Nick said this Buca de Beppo place is really good. And they're going to go to Buca de Beppo and they're going to go, what do you mean steak?
I don't even know what they serve there.
It's an
Guys,
Italian restaurant.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
you
That
guys,
sounds right. Speaking, hey, real quick. Speaking of Italian restaurants, though, just while we're on MagFest here, first off, Killian, I was actually looking out for you, and I do regret not seeing you because I didn't give that little scribbly naked dude that I drew.
diplomatic.
But I did purchase a miniature version of the fat naked dude riding the turtle.
I can't believe you
I
have
saw
that.
that.
It's really,
I can.
really well
Nick,
detailed.
Nick, you know what you should do? You
What's
should go to
that?
like the craft store and just make a little clay leaf.
No, wait. He has,
so that you can take
No,
so that you
he
can
has
let
the
it be
penis,
free.
right?
on.
He has the penis.
No, it will.
Does he have the penis?
You can just
Yeah.
make it as an accessory.
Okay, question. Does
Yeah.
he have a foreskin?
A foreskin?
I don't
A
know.
foreskin?
Does
Like
cut?
Watchmen?
It's it's
Nick.
not detailed enough that I would say
Well-
that he probably has a foreskin.
Well, then get some clay, and rather than making a leaf like this stupid prick suggested, make a foreskin for him.
Give him his.
He does have a
foreskin back.
foreskin.
Foreskin. Why does he need a sheath?
It's not a sheath, it's a foreskin.
Because you need to protect your sword.
He already
Killian.
has the turtle shell.
No,
What more
make
does
it
he
really
need?
long, like it's a fucking scarf, and have it wrapped around his neck.
Honestly, with the size of his fucking balls, you could probably just wrap the balls over the
Yep.
the pee-pee.
He's got some big old clankers there.
Give him a nice
That's some
old
good-
cock extension, have it wrap around his
I
neck.
regret
Nick,
that we
Nick-
have not eaten at that pizza place.
Nick, next Magfest, you need to bring it, and then like take a photo with both the big one and the little one.
What am I? How do I explain that through airport security?
You don't have to. What are they?
Yeah,
gonna,
put
they're
it in
gonna-
Just
like
put
your,
it in your suitcase.
put it in your.
Why
your
would they
suit-
take
yeah,
that out of your
check-in
suitcase?
baggage.
Actually, it'll be funny. What you should do is when it goes through fucking security, take a video of the bags going through like the X-ray thing, and just so you can see the little naked fat guy statue in the X-ray.
Honestly, if anyone, if anyone
They
asks,
take it out and they're like, "What is this?" And Nick, you just reply, "It's hentai and it's art."
It's called hentai, and it's classy.
if anyone
You know,
asks,
some-
a wise man once said, "I'm not gay.
Well,
I'm not gay."
I hopefully someday Washington will be big enough, and I will too be big enough to just recreate that masterpiece myself. Be fun.
Jesus, I don't
So
want to be
you're
there
waiting
for that.
for like extension, or do you need to take pills, or what? Like, what are we talking?
I just, couple
What if
more
we bought?
Sammys.
What if we bought a
Nick,
bunch
have
of?
you
what if we-
tried
what
this-
if we all bought a bunch of clay
Okay.
and got together and made a full-size statue,
I have this condition that
recreated it?
the doctors call a microponus. I have a microponus, I don't know what to do.
Nick, have you considered trying this one weird trick? Doctors hate him, or so I hear.
Once I had a microponus, and now I have a big penis.
Gilly, I did actually want to ask you. I know it's a little bit behind the, behind the scenes and all that shit. Do we know when I should be hearing back from PAX in terms of my badge? Should that have happened already?
No.
Okay.
Last here
You're banned.
actually.
They saw that picture of your statue and they banned you.
Go on, everyone in the chat, spell microponus. Go on.
I tried to share that on Discord the other day, just the initial picture, because I just put it on the table and just took a picture, and it wouldn't let me send it anywhere because it said it was like, this is not allowed. This is it's gross. So I had to take a picture with all the green light and on the Ninja Turtles and shit, and that was fine.
It was very atmospheric.
Yeah, I try. All right.
What when did you submit it?
I don't know. When did we all talk about it? Like 3 days ago, something like that.
Well, this is a very interesting conversation for the podcast. So who we got up? Who's up? We got Mr. SP, who sends $1.20. And did Mr. SP drop a message, or is he just being a yogurt man?
No, it's just that thing you said.
You did it correctly, right?
Yeah.
Burger.
God damn it.
And you know what? I'm just gonna skip Nick because fuck you, Nick.
No, I can do it.
Wait,
Mr.
what
Krabs.
order? What order is this? What fucking order
It's-
is this?
Well, it was supposed to be me with Mr. SP, but it's fine.
But you go ahead then, Cirrus. I believe in you. I believe in you.
Mr. Krabs, thank you for the $4.99. We got Rally for Sally, D out, Sally, D out for Sticks. Okay,
Dicks
that's
out for
the coward's
sticks.
way of saying it.
Dicks out for sticks.
But why not Strangle for Tangle? Yeah.
Nick,
Mm.
real quick. Last year I submitted December 15th and got approved January 17th. So
It'll take a while. Fair enough. All right. Let's see here. We got Rally for Sally. D's out for. You know what's ridiculous? I feel like Tangle. I mean, maybe on the same level as Dix, but like I'd say like Tangle is probably like the least known of these three in terms of their overall history. I mean,
Yet
Sally's
she's
definitely the best
canon.
known.
She's incredibly canon.
Super canon comparatively.
Styx is
I mean,
canon,
Styx
but
got a
not
shout
as
out.
canon. Not as canon as Tango is.
I mean, they're about on the same level
I mean,
though,
it's
because like
Styx
Styx is
in
in
the-
a Mario Olympics.
Yeah, but she's
They're
not
in
in
an
the
Olympics team.
She's not in the IDW though. Yet.
Yeah,
No,
but
she
IDW is
is-
not entirely canon.
It's so canon. It's the most.
They're trying to keep it. They're trying to keep it parallel to the game canon at the very least right now.
I
It's
think
interesting. Do you think we're gonna have to see some parallel, like some crossover at some point with the events of Frontiers?
I would hope so.
it'd be cool.
I think that world needs a lot of. Here's what I think. I think if they just fumble the bag a bit in terms of like the stories that they are leading to with Frontiers, and they just kind of give up on some of that shit, I feel like hopefully they'll wrap that up in a comic or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do that. I'd like them to continue the story that they started off with Frontiers because there's a lot of stuff left in the air. But that's my guess. As
We've
far as like
also-
crossover stuff, they have to do it sometime, right?
Plus, Ian Flynn himself has demonstrated that you can make good on bad shit.
Yeah, many times, many times. But if they're trying to like tie up everything together into one continuous canon, they're gonna have to figure that out at some point.
I think one of
Yeah.
my favorite moments in the Sonic Boom cartoon is when like Cubot is like a godlike figure, and he's like lifting all these things up in the air without touching them. And there's like this cannon, and Sonic goes, "Oh no! Now he's affecting canon. He's gone too far this time." I was like, oh, that's good shit. That's fucking.
That
good.
sure was one of the 3 jokes that fucking show had, but
That show is good. Shut your mouth. You hate Seinfeld. Anyways,
I did think Boom was pretty funny.
I thought it was okay, but like the incessant like insistence that breaking the fourth wall was hilarious got irritating.
now here's the thing. I don't like when things rely too much on breaking the fourth wall. I thought
Yeah.
Boom did it tastefully.
I guess I just like anytime you see those like clip compilations where everybody's just like, oh, all the best fucking parts of Sonic Boom, and it's all just self-referential shit, and it's just like same thing that stupid Velma show's doing now, and it's really not that different to me.
Say it
Let's
is.
say this.
I would say like Boom's not as on the nose with it. It's a little more layered. Like the whole Tomatopotamus thing. Like if that was by the Velma writers, Sonic would just look in the camera and be like, my arms are a different color to what they used to be.
Yeah.
Whereas
It did have a little more tact, but it was still annoying.
I thought I'm gonna say this in terms of because I know a lot of people hate that era of Sonic the Hedgehog. I thought that was the perfect time for it. I think there was just a lot of the fan base just being really just up its own ass and obnoxious, and I thought a kind of an occasional like fuck you guys was kind of nice, and I thought Sonic Boom was the perfect place for it. I don't think they could do it again, but this one little bit in time, I thought it was fine. And I think like for the rest of the show, like if you're actually watching more than compilations, they do pad it out with more clever humor than just fourth wall breaks.
I've sat down and watched a bit of it. It's just like that's the only thing about it I remember is that show just had very little for me because I didn't think the animation looked particularly good, and then you got to rely on the writing, and I just did not think it was that strong.
I think it had hits and misses. Like there were some episodes where I was just, it's fine.
to each
Like
his own.
I don't miss it that comparatively. I know Pup. I know you're probably the strongest supporter of it. I don't think I miss it as much as you do, but I definitely appreciate what it was going for, and I think a lot of us will as more time passes and we see less and less of them being as sometimes clever and layered with their humor.
Yeah, like, at the end of the day, I'm not pining for a Season 3. I'm just someone that feels quite strongly about good and bad faith criticism. And I feel like there's just a lot of people just refusing to receive it on its terms, and that's not something that I vibe with. But at the end of the day, to each their own. You know, if someone says, fundamentally, I have no interest in a Sonic show that goes for this style of comedy or whatever, that's fine. You know, I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people were. I don't think anybody was really jonesing for this particular version of the character to stick around too long. But I think now that it's come and gone.
We got 2 fun seasons and stuff. And, I mean,
Yeah.
I've always seen that show as a pretty solid introductory point for people when it comes to Sonic. Like, I don't know, like, people that aren't necessarily Sonic fans and stuff. You can show them, like, a Sonic Boom episode, and it might, you know, have a little commentary on something that they've seen or something, and be like, oh, okay. And I know that makes it sound really shallow, because, like, oh, I know that thing. But, like, you know what I mean? You kind of get what I'm picking up.
Yeah, what I appreciate about it, like, the more I think about it, and I think this is, again, one of those things is, like, the more time passes from it, and it's its own thing, and you can appreciate it for its own thing, and people don't have to worry about it ruining the franchise. I think it's going to be like this point in time where we had the game cast as it was, you know, with Roger and everybody as they were, probably having the most fun they've had with those characters, because you can really hear them just really do a lot more than they were really allowed to do with a lot of the games. Even I'm going to even include Frontiers there.
It was definitely funnier than anything the actual games were doing at that time period. Even if I didn't particularly care for the style of humor, it was still better than what we were getting, so I'm sure it was refreshing for that cast.
I think Sonic Boom, one of the things I admire about it was it feels like a show that's like they made it for themselves in a way, because there's just things in there that, like, there's a point where they included Roger Craig Smith's vocal warm-ups in an episode, just where he's doing, like, the vocal warm-ups a voice actor does with, like, oink, oink, and stuff like that. They just had, like, 20 seconds of Sonic just doing that for no reason. And, like, I like stuff like that. It's like, it's clear that they felt quite passionate about the show they were making. They were all having a lot of fun with it. I think the actors were having fun, and it comes across in the performances. I think the writers had a lot of fun. Like, I think it's very infectious. I think that's what I really like about Sonic Boom.
And that's why, Mr. Krabs, we do not strangle for tangle.
Oh, yeah, whoa, yeah, shit.
So, who's got the next one?
What?
Who? I think it's one.
I can take the next one, yeah. We got David Crespo with the $1.99.
Not
You're
yet.
very... Huh?
Not yet, bitch.
It's the only one that doesn't have a burger.
The burger's the one you want.
The one you gotta read.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the check marks from earlier. Anyway, Mr. Krabs with $4.99. If Ian Flynn Mario Archie comic was greenlit when Archie Sonic was still around, we could had a Mario and Sonic in the Olympics crossover arc.
I bet that was in the back of Ian's mind while he was pitching that.
It would have
That
been
would have been cute.
It would have been cute to have a Mario story with story.
You know what would be sick is you know how like sometimes like animation companies and stuff do the little short film that comes before the main feature.
Yeah.
And it would be sick if we could somehow get fucking Comcast and Paramount to strike up a deal. Fuck it, I think they're owned by the same people anyways. But if they could make a little deal to make a short film of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games with the movie versions, that'd be
cute.
Like, and you could even do it during Olympic season as well.
I really don't even need rambling. I don't even think they need Paramount or anybody for that if they did their own unique thing. I mean, if they did the movie versions, then yeah.
I mean, I was going to
sure.
say the movie versions, like, because it would be like their way of doing it. Because I would be more excited to have a short film with the movie versions than I would the games. We got cutscenes for that, you know. I just want to. I think Comcast owns Paramount, don't they? It doesn't matter, but yeah. I'm legitimately
There we
googling.
go.
Does Comcast own Paramount?
Well, before you do that, you want to read David's super chat?
They own it. They own it. They could do it. They could make that deal. Okay.
There you go.
David Crespo sends $1.99. Thank you, David Crespo. And says, Wayne, you're very handsome.
Thank you.
He is, isn't he?
That was beautiful.
He is beautiful.
Well,
I disagree.
guys, is there anything else we want to touch upon before we wrap things up for the day?
Yeah, Comcast owns both Paramount and Universal. And Illumination is a subsidiary of Universal. So if you do want a Mario and Sonic crossover movie, it's absolutely possible because they're both owned by Comcast.
I don't think them having, like, you know, being allotted rights for a Mario movie means that they can just automatically decide to cross that over with a whole other competing franchise.
Well, not necessarily, but they could because they're owned by... Like, the rights are owned by those respective companies. Therefore, they are
No,
probably
they're-
Comcast.
No,
They're
they
not.
have distribution
That's not-
They have
rights. but that's
distribution
not the-
rights.
That's
Yeah.
not the same of creative rights.
Well, the fact is, they got their fingers in the pies. They could still make it happen.
Fair enough.
I think a lot of hands would need to shake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, but weirder things have happened, right?
Yeah,
we'd
the
need to
hands,
have a
like,
lot of hands exchanged across a lot of dicks.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, you know, you got the Marvel Studios and Sony collab, so you could easily get like a Paramount.
They
and
can make it
Universal
work.
collab. Like they could.
Everyone likes money. Everyone likes money.
Me included. So if you got any more super chats to spend, by all means, you know.
Well, there's one more.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs with the $1.99. Hank Hill, that boy ain't right.
That
so
boy ain't right.
we know. We know.
God dang it, Boggy. Boggy.
we had-
Bobby.
God dang it, Boggy.
Boggy.
Bobby, that's
Bog
pretty.
bang it, Boggy.
That's pretty poggers, if you ask me, Bobby.
Stupid.
Man, I just
Guys,
Are we
Felt
cutting
bad
off the
and
super
dumb.
chats? Are we gonna?
cutting off the head of the Hydra.
All right, super chats, make like a foreskin and get cut off.
amazing.
I was gonna say wrap it up, but
It's immoral.
Hop, what are you working on?
Watchmen. Wait. I've got a few little things in the works. One of them is something I've thought about for a few years, but like I'm finally gonna do a little video on kind of my perspective on the sickness of the internet that is reflected through Chris Chan. Not even joking there. That's gonna be a serious video, pretty dark, pretty nasty. And
For the love of God.
shut up.
I think it's an interesting idea.
And then I'm continuing my favorite Sonic game series. Right now, we've got why Sonic Unleashed is my favorite and why Sonic Adventure 2 is my favorite. You can expect more in that line coming up. If you watch this show, you pretty much know what's coming next, Sonic Frontiers. But I'm not going to tell anyone on my own channel, okay? None of you guys watch my own shit, so it's fine.
Oh my god.
And if you do, stop. But
I mean, you've been doing really well with shorts lately.
kinda. But thank you. It was mainly just that Sonic Unleashed one, but like, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the result. Anyways, I am also going to be doing videos at some stage tackling the Sonic storybook games because people always want to hear about them, you know? Like, every time I make a fucking ranking list and I say, this is main series only, I'll always get that one comment. It's like, you forgot Sonic and the Secret Rings. I said main series. You fucking fucker. But anyways, yeah. So, yeah. Someone else now. Come on. I forget.
Cirrus, what are you up to?
So there's about 54 frames left in the second What If Shadow Died episode, and then of course that gets handed off to Pup for working on that. Also, the Sonic Frontiers video is done, once again edited by Pup, because I don't have the time to do that, but I do have money to throw at Pup.
Hell yeah, you do.
Boy.
Fucking throw it at me. Make me your stripper. Let's do this.
It's very, very long and rambly, so if you want a 2.5 hour long video talking about Frontiers, that's what that is.
It also has a
have fun with it.
wonderful little edit of Sonic and Knuckles, doesn't it, Sirius? Broke back hill, if you will.
You do things, and I let it happen. I don't know why.
Pup, would you be game, just because I know there's going to be a big chunky video, would you be game to be commissioned to edit another Sonic Frontiers video?
Yeah.
I love you, man.
Stop it.
Cool. Well, hey, that sounds exciting, man. I'm excited to see all that stuff come out. Wayne,
Yeah.
what's going on with you, man?
Well, a lot of the same stuff as usual. Still working on that kind of rebrand for the channel, but I'm also working on Digimon World 2. I'm thinking of maybe streaming some Crazy Taxi at some point, because I've been getting super into that game lately.
Yeah.
And then I know I've got another friend that wants me to hop on her stream at some point, so I might be doing that at some point too. Other than that, I'm kind of mulling over if there's like a simple project that I can kind of crank out there while I'm also working on Digimon World 2, because that video is just going to take freaking forever to come out.
Right.
And I don't like the dry spell that's been on the channel as of late, so...
Don't
We'll
blame
see.
you.
Don't worry,
We'll
man.
see what I
I'm
can
also
do.
going through a dry spell too. Just not on the channel.
Alright.
Gilly, I know you kind of keep your stuff kind of close to the chest in terms of what you're working on. Do you still want to do that for whatever you're working on?
Yoshi.
Yoshi. Yoshi Burger.
I also just
Yoshi
love
Burger.
Wayne.
Yoshi Burger.
Oh my fucking god.
Wayne.
Yeah? What?
Wow, wow, wow.
What are the fucking
Oh.
noises coming out of Pup right now?
Yoshi noises, probably.
Oh no. Oh, this ain't good at all.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
this is bad. Oh, jeez. Oh, we're all gonna want to leave before this gets out of hand. Oh, man.
When are you just gonna put a big like burger in front of his mouth?
Why would I ever do that? He doesn't eat burgers. He eats
Gilly,
pizza.
what was your latest video?
The
Was it the Tony
Hawk?
Hawk? Yeah. That's still fun. If you guys haven't watched it yet, you need to. If you haven't finished it yet, because it's a long video, go back and
Oh
finish
my
it.
god, it's Tony Hawk. Are
I
you-
can't.
are
Like
you
I
Tony
told you
Hawk?
last time. Like there were surprising games, and there I was like, I kind of want to try that.
Is
I
that
kind of want
Tony
to try that
Hawk?
shitty snail game.
Holy fuck! It's Tony the Hawk.
Gilly,
Tony
are
Hawk.
you Tony Hawk?
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm Tony Hawk.
I just released a Sonic speed reading, and another one's gonna go up today if the sponsor approves it. Sorry, that's just how that kind of works. It's already up for patrons. And I'm gonna get to work on. It's either gonna be another 2 or 3 to get us caught up on IDW, and then back to work on the Frontiers video. So yeah, got some new stuff coming out on my channel as well, and I'm gonna be taking advice of my good friend Gilly and Anthony here, and we're probably going to be starting a second channel sooner rather than later, because I really want to talk about some other stuff that
Finally.
not really Sonic related, and it's a little weird.
Get ready, he's gonna talk politics.
So many politics. But yeah,
Sure
guys,
is a
I
lot of
think that's.
politics, huh?
Oh my god. All right, guys, but I think that's going to wrap it up here at Sunset City. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Danny, wherever you are, after he died and went off to heaven.
The white world.
The white world.
Also known as the Splash Zone.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's a lot of typing. So much typing.
Sorry.
What you googling there, serious? What's this? Is this femboys? Oh, nice. Okay.
Also, that's what Hooters has going on now.
Femboy Hooters.
Goofy.
We don't have Hooters at Sunset City. We have Boobles.
Boobles.
We have
Welcome
Noibles.
to Boobles.
This is a
Boy.
sir. This is a boobles.
Sure, this is
Sir,
Boobles.
this is- Hi. Welcome to Boobles.
You
Look
know
at the
why that's
boobles.
perfect, Gilly? You saying that is your little rouge body just lit up.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Wait, hang on.
Oh,
What is
really?
this? What is this mashup even called? Is it called Googe? Because like Gilly and Rouge.
I don't like that.
You got googe everywhere.
Sounds
It's a
disgusting.
collection of syllables I don't need to ever hear again.
Goosh.
Is that what he did to make the White Room?
We need to get out of here. End the show. Just stop it all.